Welcome to Quick Query Critique. I'm Marla Miller from marlamiller.com, and this is our, I don't know, 40, kind of lost count, maybe 43rd or 44th Quick Query Critique. I'm going to be reading this one because it kind of dovetails into a Marla musing that I posted, I think it was last week or the week before, and so we'll talk a little bit about that when I'm done reading this. And this comes from Australia, which I think is so cool. All right, here we go. Dear Sir or Madam, I have recently completed a 75,000-word humorous, romantic, adventurous suspense novel entitled 7 Days Grace, and I hope you consider me for your list. I believe this work is similar to Sophie Kinsella's. When Grace Kelly, a newspaper journalist, receives a phone call late on a Sunday night, she is enticed into a dawn meeting the following day with promises of a political scandal so corrupt it will catapult her career if she can crack the story. Grace is given secret and protected information from this anonymous source, and she must untangle the web of information contained within and uncover a story that could put the lives of thousands at risk, all while she protects her heart from a private investigator eager to tear down her emotional walls. After Grace is lured into a hunt around Sydney's icons to expose the story, she sets herself on a collision course with unknown consequences, both professionally and personally. Enmeshed in a mystery she'll do anything to disclose, she meets handsome private investigator and a New Yorker, Jacob Williams, who continually shows up to assist her with the story. However, her self-imposed ban on men and relationships see her struggle to stick to her vow. Grace is fraught with double-mindedness. Will she put up a fight against the charms to protect her heart from further angst, or will she succumb to his gentlemanly ways that are so intoxicating they would persuade a nun to rethink her vows? And will she crack the story that could catapult her career and see her work for an organization she has always dreamed of? In 2010, I won a competition pitched to the publisher at the Blank Writers Center in Sydney based on the synopsis of 7 Days Grace. I hold a bachelor's of journalism and have worked for Blank, a business magazine, and Blank, an award-winning rural magazine, and Blank, an award-winning student magazine. I hope we can work together. Would you like to see the full manuscript? Sincerely. Okay, a couple of things right off the bat. When I read it through the first time, I didn't catch the Australian connection. And so there are several words here and phrases that you might have picked up if you're stateside that just, were a little off-putting to me. Several words are spelled in a different way, and then I went, oh, geez, okay, Australia. That said, I think that there still are some clauses that she's got in here, and you can check on the site, that I think could be tightened. Okay. What's this story about? It's a question that I ask writers in my real-time workshops consistently. Do you know? I don't know. And that's why I usually ask it. If I know what the story is about, it's on the page, then we can go to the next step, which is, listening for speed bumps that might pull us out of the story. But at this point, and it's not the best news, 7 Days Grace is a story that could be humorous, could be romantic, could be adventurous. But I don't see much evidence of that in this query letter, and that is a problem. It's a suspense novel. I get that. There's a whodunit here. But I think it's really poorly organized. And so I would encourage this author to take a look at the organization of this letter and rework it. A couple of things, she mentions... Let me put on my glasses again. She mentions a private detective in the second paragraph, and then down in the third paragraph she mentions him by name. I would start with his name so that we know who he is. We feel a little closer to him and her. We get it that he's pursuing her and she doesn't want to be pursued, although she's ambivalent. She's apparently sworn off men. She calls it double-mindedness. I would imagine that's Australian for ambivalent. If it isn't, I would choose ambivalent over double-mindedness. But if she's pitching to, and she's pitching to an Australian agent, so double-mindedness might be fine. Okay. So I think that paragraph 1 sets us up for a funny, romantic, adventurous suspense novel, and then it does not deliver that. Remember, please, and if I could underline my words, I would. If you're telling me that this query letter right off the bat is funny, you better make me laugh, right? Otherwise, don't say that it's funny. The key to, one of the keys to writing a good query is whatever you set up on top, you deliver it. And this writer unfortunately didn't do that. Now, I think that it might be a really interesting story. The fact that she uses Grace Kelly, I guess that's okay. I don't know what other writers might think about that, if that would be off-putting to an agent, considering that you know, Grace Kelly is an iconic figure. It could be that, you know, there might be something funny there, like they named her Grace Kelly because, you know, I don't know. So you might want to set that name up a little better, and especially if it has relevance to this story. And, you know, I could say several things about this, but it's just confusing. It truly, truly is. Paragraph 3, I don't know. You know, I don't get it. I don't get this story. I'm so sorry. But here's what I want to talk about, and again, it's in Marla's Musing, and for those of you who haven't clicked onto it, really, it's just a few minutes, I would. And that is, when a writer spends time, and this writer spent 4 lines, telling about all the accolades that she's won. She's, you know, got several credits to her name from writers' conferences, etc. When you tell an agent that you have won good stuff in writing, that letter better reflect it. If it doesn't, what do you think an agent says? I mean, just think about it. If someone tells you, oh, I'm this and I'm that, and then you don't see any evidence of that, what are you thinking to yourself? You know, this person is talking the talk but can't walk the walk, for lack of something more graphic that I could probably say. So be very careful of that, and really check out Marla's Musing, because a lot of writers are doing this. I think maybe you think, if I put all of these wonderful accolades in the letter, surely they're going to consider me more seriously. No, in fact, they will consider you less seriously if you don't deliver on the storyline. Because remember, folks, it is always and only about story. That's what agents are looking for. Why are they looking for that? Because they're looking to sell that story. Why are they looking to sell that story? Because they want to make money with you. They're looking for writers who are going to offer careers. And the best way for you to let an agent know that you got the goods is to show them on the page. I could say more. I won't. Until the next time, be well. Keep writing and send your query letters. Nonfiction, please.